Because like I said, bro, I've really been putting on these type of fights that I feel like people should be praising me for, right? Like it's just like I got 15 fights within the organization in a short amount of time. You know what I mean? Like this is my fifth year within the UFC. But all my fights down there by knockout, bro. Eight KOs in the UFC. Like who really running up them type of numbers, right? And the type of fights that I have, ain't none of them been born. So I really feel like for me, it's just like no matter what I got to do in order to get that name as massive as as the Conor McGregor's, as the John Jones, as the what I'm saying, whoever Hamzat, like that's what I got to do because I should be easily touching the M right now.
Hmm. And I mean, okay, well, we can give you some credit because Leon didn't do, right? The champ at the time when he fought Colby.
Yeah,
He didn't do what you did to Colby,
nah, and
regardless of the doctor stoppage.
Kobe was crossing some lines talking about Leon dead pops, and Leon ain't stand on that, right?
Yeah. So I
Like
mean, even though it was a doctor stoppage, that was a hell of a performance, I would have to say,
you talking about for
for
Leon
you,
or for myself?
because you're
For me?
saying people aren't giving you credit even after this Colby fight, and I'm saying
No,
I
no,
think you
I'm
do
not.
deserve credit
I'm I'm
because the
I'm
champ
saying
didn't do to him what you did.
for me, I'm not gonna say that because the fans definitely have gave me a lot of credit, but it's just like it's only credit for the fight, right? Like I don't get the same love and support that I feel like is necessary, but that's okay because I feel like that's just gonna make my ass work harder.
Well, from
Like
who?
from every like just the things that I see, like you when I look at Hamza and his numbers, how am I not like in the millions? You
You
know?
are in the millions, though. I feel okay. Can I here? Give me.
Go ahead, because you really confusing me because I can look on all my platforms and be like, nah,
Okay. Okay. So you're talking about like you want a million followers because
million.
you do a million views. Like everything you do
That's 100.
goes
I do
viral.
donut. I do donut. I do a million views sometimes. And yeah, where the
You didn't see
followers
you
at
didn't
though?
see what I did with the Ian Gary Schaff face off and the you and Colby face off. How like you did
I
like
think I
10
did see
times as many
that, and the numbers
views
went up. And the
and it
numbers
was
went up
only
like crazy.
24 hours
Yeah,
and like they had a whole week for those numbers to run.
yeah.
So I
No.
mean, you get the numbers. I mean,
So
you might
a
not have a
lot of
million
people a lot of
followers.
people wanted to say that was Kobe, right? Doing
They
that.
did. You read the comments. Everybody said it was Colby talking about LeBron.
I don't think so, bro. Like
I don't think so.
right, because for me, I really think that people love me for what I do, but it's just like they don't know me, so it's like we only gonna wait till he come back out and fight, which is cool, like I guess, but that I gotta find a market for myself. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I need people that follow my story. So right now, since we talking about it, right
Yeah.
today, I just because it was a long content day, right? So now I got a whole team of guys that work with me that follow the camera behind me and stuff like that, and they kind of like just show my whole day and my lifestyle because I think a lot of people gonna respect because I've been doing this for a minute. A lot of people don't realize like how much I have on my plate and a lot of things that I do on my own. But I feel like once people kind of see that and I was still able to get to a certain level, like people ain't got nothing, they can only respect it. You know what I mean? Because this is straight like a grind that I feel like anybody could do, but it's just that you gotta have the mentality for it. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit ain't easy, but like if you ain't got the heart to keep pushing and stay disciplined and stay committed to what you're doing, like you're gonna always fall short. So with all that being said, bro, so I got my guy Ryan. He's controls my snap, so he gonna be so y'all can go on my snap right now. You can follow me. I can add you back. We can have communication. So now, like I said, bro, I be hitting up with the fans. I be engaging. I be telling them little stuff if I got time, right? And I be going back and forth. But I be just trying to tell people my story and just who I am, and I feel like that part right there has not really kind of been displayed because I feel like
Okay.
as long as I'm fighting and I'm out there in the cage, everybody, the world gonna watch. The
They
world gonna
do.
watch. But is the world gonna keep watching once I step out though?
Yeah. So you're trying to have that name brand,
I need that name brand.
almost
I've
like
been I've
past
been
the
around
belt.
too long,
Yeah.
right? Like not saying the UFC don't pay me, but I feel like the big checks really come outside the UFC.
Yeah. So
Keeping it in
that's a
100.
good question though. I mean, so you've been considering like how to get that name brand. I guess you're gonna do like a YouTube channel, but that's the big question for everybody, right? I feel like if everybody could answer that, right? Like
Yeah,
even
everybody
for
do it,
me,
right?
I need to have like more of a name brand because I can't always rely on like your name or big
Uh-huh.
fighters' names. I kind of realized like, it's like a 50-50. You got to also bring something to the table. So you're trying
Right.
to bring something to the table for the UFC, so to speak, or
It's
even
not
for
for you.
yourself,
It's
right? Even for
for
yourself.
my. It's mainly UFC good.
Right.
UFC don't need me.
But because the
We are
UFC always gives you that boost, right? When you fight, like you get
a
that
hundred
boost from the
percent,
UFC. But
a
without
hundred
that,
percent.
you need to have a boost too on your own, you're saying.
Um, So with that boost that you're talking about, they want to see my commitment and the hard work that I put in. So if they do want to invest in me, right? Because like you was like, damn, why don't the UFC really kind of push my guy? Like I feel like they just waiting on me, right? Like for me to have that consistent schedule. Because like I said, I've been doing everything else consistently, right? With the training and doing my daily duties. This is also another job when it comes to making this content, right? Showing up, like, like as many things that was popping up, we still made sure that we got this done, right? You still
Yeah,
made sure to
yeah.
reach out to me, right? So we can get this done. So I feel like having that mentality and not like holding off on it and constantly keep doing it because we do get numbers, right? Like, why not keep doing it every single day? Every single day. Like I only do a video like when I see something pop or like something I want to talk about and topic wise, so it's just be all over the place. But if I stay committed, which I already got a whole like idea of how I want to run with it, and like I said, when I think about it now, I'm like, bro, ain't no fighter doing this. Like, it ain't even about like the content that they be making, like with the watch party, and they just sitting down and they recording themselves watching the fight. Like, my stuff is gonna be a little bit more different. I can't really tap into it because then somebody gonna fuck around and take my shit.
Steal
But
your idea.
but regardless, it's just like when it happens, like a lot of people are gonna kind of follow suit. I promise you.
Okay. Well, I mean, since you gotta keep some of that stuff under wraps, I'll just say, like, I feel like you've done a good job growing your name. Like, you got a ton of followers on Instagram. You got a little bit of a niche with, like, some of the content you put out, like some of that reaction shit. Not everybody can do it. So I
Yes.
think you are doing some of the right things. And I think it's part of the process. Like, you're just learning to build it higher. But that's not to say that you haven't done a good job building it up already.
I agree with you. But like I said, with that being said, it's just like it's still I got hunger to get bigger.
Right.
Like,
I know.
I'm
I
hungry,
realize that. Yeah.
right? Um, with my first post back, I lost followers. That don't stop me from posting. Like, run the numbers up, run the numbers up. Because like I said, I want to reach people that's gonna follow my story. Period. Period. Right. So even when the UFC is over with, I still got a fan base that I can tap into. You know.
Because like a guy like Mike Perry, he's been able to really use that name, even though the UFC didn't resign him. People would have thought that he was kind of screwed, but he's got a good personality, a good
Yeah.
name to him. So, I mean, I think it'll come. I think you just gotta like let it play out. But speaking on the numbers, like even these interviews we do, like on Instagram, it gets like 200,000, like multiple we got so
Now,
far. So, what do you think is
well,
gonna happen this year
we're gonna
after
keep running them
more
numbers up.
wins?
We're gonna
Yeah,
keep running them
we
numbers
might
up.
touch
Yeah.
half a mil. You know what I mean? So, I think
Yeah.
just keep doing what you're doing for sure.
All right, bet.